Hello and welcome back to Starving Artist Courses, your all-in-one online music education resource. My name is Juiette and welcome back to the fourth and final Intro to Bass video series. This entire month we've been going over the basics of the bass guitar, and now we are at the final step before you can go on to learning actual songs and applying these techniques. So we're really excited. Great job for making it this far. If you're just jumping in, make sure you go back and check out the 3 previous videos before this. All of it is building blocks and it's leading us to what we're going to be learning today. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the last few weeks we've been focusing on the major scale. Today we want to introduce something called the minor scale. Now, there are a few different types of minor scales. Today we're going to focus on just the natural minor scale, okay? Now remember, the major scale followed the pattern of whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. The minor scale switches it up a little bit and it goes whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So since last week we started on F, we're going to go ahead and start on F again, but this time we're going to do the minor scale. So remember, the note you start on, you haven't moved quite yet. So you're not going to say whole step until you move from F and go to the next note. So starting on F, we're going to go a whole step, which takes us to G. Next in the pattern is a half step. So then we're going to go to A flat. After that is a whole step. That's B flat. Another whole step. That's C. Then after that, we're going to go a half step. That's D flat. Then we're going to go a whole step. That's E flat. And then we're going to go another whole step. And it ends on the F again, okay? Now here, we're going to start on F, but we're not going to do the scale going on just this one string and working our way up here. We want to make sure we're going up and down and using all the strings. So we're going to start on F, whole step, half step, then you're going to go another whole step, but instead of going to this B flat, we're going to go to this one. Keep everything nice and within these first 4 frets here. So F, G, A flat, B flat, whole step, C, half step, D flat. Then we're going to go another whole step, which takes us to E flat, but we're going to go to this one. And then we're going to end on F. So once again. And of course, you want to be able to do it going back. Very important that you're able to go up and down. Okay, and that's your minor scale. Now remember the groove that we were doing last week? We were going. Now it's actually following a minor scale pattern in the sense that the 7th in the major scale, this is usually the 7 right here, which is the E. But in the minor scale, we're playing E flat. Okay? And this groove is going down to that E flat. So this is where the minor scale kind of ties into everything. So you started on the F, but you're kind of following that minor scale pattern. So you're going 1, octave, 7, 5, 1, octave, 7, 5. Then you went to the B flat. Remember, we went over to the C. Back. Then back to the F. Okay, so next, we're going to continue with this idea of a progression by playing a couple of famous tunes. The first one is going to be I Love Rock and Roll. Now, immediately when you hear that song, your mind goes to what that beat sounds like. Dun dun, dun dun, dun dun dun, dun 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 dun, dun. Right, we already know that inherently, right? So that's the idea of when you hear music, it's all internal, it's emotion. You feel, you remember what that sounds like, what it feels like when you hear it. And that's very important in music. When you're playing an instrument, you want to be able to hear something and then dabble on your instrument and find those notes. Even if you don't know the key, even if you don't know the rhythm, quarter notes, half notes, all of that stuff, it's still very important to just listen to music and dabble and move around, okay? Now, this song is in the key of E major. Now, two things you should think of right away. First, the E major scale. All of those notes in the E major scale will be in the key of E major. That's how they connect. Secondly, remember the numbers that we used as it relates to the scale. So, for example, E will be 1, F sharp will be 2, G sharp 3, A is 4, B is 5, C sharp is 6, D sharp is 7, and E is our 1 again, or our octave, or 8. Now this song, I Love Rock and Roll, uses the 1, the 4, and the 5. So it starts with the 1, then it goes to the 4, then it goes to the 5. That sounds familiar, right? So it goes. Now after that, it goes to this walk down lick, which actually kind of mimics the minor scale. So you got your 1, then it goes to your flat 7, then to the 5, then to the 4, and then your flat 3rd, which is G. So playing it the right way, it goes. Okay, so next we're going to be learning Yellow by Coldplay. Now this song is in the key of B major. So you would start off playing that same thing, the B major scale, which is B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then back to B. Now the progression of the verse of this song is 1, 5, 4. So the 1 in this song is the B, the 5 is the F sharp, and the 4 is the E. Now we're going to talk rhythm a little bit. If you were to practice the song to a metronome, each time you hear a click, that's going to be your quarter note. That's when you would strike 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I were to do 2 of those within each quarter note, that will be called an eighth note, okay? And I would say and when I do that. So I will go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the progression goes like this. You start on the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, then to the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, then to the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and on the 1. All right, great job. So this week for your homework, I want you to practice the major scale and the minor scale, jumping around on different notes. So for example, if you start on A, do A major. Do it going back. Then I want you to do A minor. And then do it back. And I want you to do that all over your fretboard. So start on A, then go to E, go to C, jump all over the place and play those scales, major and minor. I also want you to listen to and play the 2 songs that we went over today. I Love Rock and Roll and Yellow by Coldplay. We only went over a little snippet of the song, but I want you to listen to them and use your ear. Figure out the rest of it. You have a bunch of tools. You know how to do scales, major and minor. You know how to move your fingers up and down the fretboard. You can do this. Listen to the song, play around until that note sounds right, and then go ahead and do your quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, do your eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and move around on your bass. And that wraps up the Intro to Bass video series. Next month and onward, we're going to be learning songs all the way through top to bottom. So it's going to be really exciting. You don't want to miss that. And if this is something that you really want to pursue, if you're really trying to go deep into being a musician, into being an artist, make sure to join the Starving Artist community. Visit starvingartistcourses.com/VIP and become a member today. And while you're there, make sure you pick up your free gift. It's called Finding Your Rhythm, Making Time for Your Dreams. This is a PDF guide that we created here at Starving Artist Courses to help you to dedicate time towards your dreams, whether it's to become a musician or whatever you're pursuing. This gives you step-by-step tools on how to make that possible. So you want to make sure you get that. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because next month we're going to start learning those tunes, and I want to make sure that you're there. Thank you once again for tuning in to Starving Artist Courses. Now go and dream out loud.